Hey, I'm Hound, and I've been making short practice microfilms in order to learn the different processes of filmmaking at a steady pace and while having something to show at the end of it. It's sort of like shooting practice footage alone and then just cutting that together instead. So I figured I would try to do a behind the scenes kind of video to go along with the next one. So the first step to making these films is picking a process that I want to study and practice, and then going from there, like I did with Windows, or just to make whatever and focus on key parts of that production to learn new things. And I kind of feel like doing something narrative, so let's start there. So I was walking around the other day when I was about to shoot something, and I was looking for places to possibly shoot and just different things, and I sort of noticed this light. Or technically it's a light switch. It doesn't work though. Like a lot of the things in this house. Maybe there's some kind of narrative there. And so my mind instantly went to, what if it's a light in the attic and something's living up there? And something stupid like that. So maybe there's something there. Maybe we can do something with this. All right, so I've been working on the script and it's going pretty well. My scripts usually look like that, but I plan to do one of these microfilms in the future to learn more about the script process and really hammer that in so that by the time I am working with other individuals that I can do a better job of conveying things and making things more standardized. But as of right now, I'm basically doing it the David F. Sandberg way, and it's if no one's going to see it, it doesn't fucking matter. So yeah, that's how that's going. But back to the script itself. Seems how my mind instantly went to a very cliched horror kind of setting. I decided that the things that I'm going to be focusing on for this shoot are shooting interior night scenes and then getting a grasp of the very stereotypical, cliche, overused horror sound effects. So like you're gonna have your reverse booms and your violins and like creaking and stuff like that. So that should be fun. But a quick preface, this isn't going to be a good film. It might end up being a decent film, but it will not be a good film. I'm purposefully going to be going overboard with a couple of the things here, and hopefully they turn out all right. So I'm pretty much to a stopping point with the script now, and I kind of had this idea, and I don't know if I'll be able to execute it properly, so I don't know if I'll even try to, but I kind of had an idea of the drop ceiling, one of the tiles coming undone, and then a shadow coming down to turn the switch off. I want to try to do that, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. So I do have a backup plan for that, but it's not as good. We'll see how it goes. I might take an extra week to do this just so it looks the way that I want it to. But now that I'm at least at a stopping point for the script, a place where it's doable, I'm going to be working on the shot list now, and that's what this looks like. But yeah, while I'm working on the shot list, I'm going to be watching videos on YouTube pertaining to the things that I'm going to be working on. So right now I'm looking at how to light an interior night scene. I will probably be making a playlist of all the videos that I recommend pertaining to what I'm doing for homework. But yeah, I'm going to go finish the shot list and maybe do some practice shooting tonight if I have the time. But yeah, later. All right, so after doing a little bit of measuring, the distance between this light switch and the ceiling part that I plan on using is about 4 feet, maybe just a little bit under. But we come into a little bit of a rough patch with that because my arms are only 2 feet 10 inches long, so not 4 feet. Either I could stretch the arm out in post, which would look weird. I thought it'd be funny if the thing had a rod. So I'm just going to take apart my broom. So after days of procrastination, I'm pretty much just sitting here procrastinating even more. I've got it pretty much split up into 2 different shoots, but the first shoot is the day scene and the second shoot is the night scene. The second shoot, the night scene, can be split up into 2 different days or whatever. I don't have to worry about continuity between them. But the first scene is essentially one long thing happening, And so I have to worry about continuity between like 15, 20 different shots. So it's a pretty big thing when you're shooting by yourself, because if it were me shooting and filming somebody else, I could just follow them around and easily set up the shot, have them do the motion, watch, monitor everything, have them stand in for themselves while I get lighting and stuff like that. But doing that all by yourself, it kind of sucks. So today I might just do test shoots and just write down what lighting works for which shots and take things maybe 5 shots at a time. I don't know. It's because it's a big task. Doing that many shots in a row, it's probably going to take 3 or 4 hours when I do decide to film it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to split it up and fuck. So yeah, lots of procrastination going on right now. So had a little bit of an accident, being stupid. So in order to maximize healing on my finger, I slept in because I needed more sleep. I would have only gotten 5 hours if I woke up normally. But I slept in order to maximize healing on my finger. And then last night, there's rats in the ceiling area. So I've got to deal with that. So yay. Procrastinating again. But also, it's been raining out, and so it's kind of a gloomy day today. I've also got to make the decision of whether or not I want to shoot this in a log format, or if I just want to shoot it standard so that it's easier in post. I might do the night scenes in log. I don't know.
Hey, mister.
Pickles! Other than
Peace be with you. Peace be with you.
Shit, dude. Perfect. Am I in focus this time? Make sure everything's working right. Get this close to my face. Not in shot. Oh, there it is. That's in shot. So I've been doing a few different things, mainly trying not to have a panic attack. I think I'm at a good enough position where tonight when I'm ready, once it's nighttime, because it's still bright out, but once it's nighttime, then that's when I can do the other shoots. So I think I'm in a good enough position where I can kind of work on it as I go later. But yeah, I will be doing filming next and try to get that done so I can start working on the VFX, which is going to take a while. I don't know when this is going to be done. But yeah, later.
How do I fix brightness? See, does this look nice? I think this looks nice. I think that. Nope, I think this. Yes, that looks good to me.
And action.
And I think that's a wrap. Congratulations, everybody.
I am shooting this in 4K so that I can properly crop this later. Forgot to crop. So we walk from off screen. We walk from off screen with the light already off. Oh. And my popcorn prop. Popcorn. All right, I just finished wrap on the second part of the first night scene. I split it up because I didn't have enough time the other night and was too tired. And good thing I did, because it took me an hour and a half to get what will be probably less than 15 minutes in the film. So that's great. But yeah, see you then. The bathroom shoot I ended up using as practice to get coverage for things as well. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. Got about 5 or 6 insert shots, a wide, and then about 3 medium to close-ups, mostly mediums. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on things like that as I go through these short films. But yeah, see you. God, I'm so fucking tired. So it's about 11 p.m. right now. I didn't finish recording last night until about 8, and then I didn't get to sleep until about 9:30, and then I woke up at 4 p.m. So today I mainly focused on trying to get the VFX shot done, and when I recorded that, learned a couple things, more like hammered it home, you know? Trying to key out the background, I couldn't get a good enough silhouette effect on my arm, so I mainly had to go for a luminance matte or whatever you call it. In editing, I realized that the motion blur is a huge issue, so I'm going to have to record at a higher frame rate in order to minimize the motion blur. Something that I already knew, but didn't think about implementing. So kind of hammering home that you really do have to test this stuff out before you know you can do it. You know, you gotta test it out and make mistakes, and that's the best way of learning. The other thing that I'm going to do is looking at it. The effect is basically my arm over a white screen, and looking at it in post, it was just all over the place. And so I'm going to use like maybe a chair or something to keep my arm still so that the point of entry and point of return, like going in and out, will be the same. And I'm going to refilm that hopefully tomorrow. I don't know how I'm going to feel, but I might start editing if I don't feel too great. It is kind of a hassle setting everything up to film that. So yeah, hopefully I'll have it finished by next week. But yeah, see you then. All right, it's about 7:30 a.m. right now, and I'm pulling an all-dayer and then I guess an all-nighter as well, trying to get some stuff done. While editing the behind-the-scenes thing, I noticed that the audio for the second night scene is going to be completely unusable, so I'm going to have to go back and re-record some of the audio for that. And also the audio for the call, the phone conversation, the water heater, which was what that noise was. The water heater was really fucking loud. I didn't expect it to be picked up that loud because I always had the shotgun mic pointing away from it. So that sucks. I'm gonna have to re-record a bunch, I guess. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it and just focus on getting a rough cut ready and redoing the VFX shot for now. So yeah, later. Okay. Second time trying to shoot the VFX shot that I'm going to be doing, and what I've chosen to do is I've taken this here, and this is where my arm is going to be like mounted onto so that it doesn't move too much, and then in the corner so that I'm reaching for the same spot every time I put brush. But yeah, time to reattempt this. And the stand also doubles as a stand-in so that you can make sure it's on in focus. So it's been another few hours, I guess. I don't know. I worked for 6 or 7 hours on the VFX shot and then took a quick nap and then just spent the last 2 hours doing more stuff on the shot. It's very confusing working in DaVinci for VFX because there's so many different ways you can do things. Not only do you have the color page and the fusion page, but then in those pages you have so many different options to do the same thing. So it was just very confusing. If I were submitting this film to a festival, then I would absolutely put in the time and go into Blender and project it to make it look like an actual shadow, but I don't expect a lot of people to see this, on top of the fact that I'd rather use my time right now to focus on the sound effects. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get a rough cut ready, and then I'm going to start capturing sound effects, but I'm probably not going to do much more work today because I've already done about 12 hours and I haven't really slept. I took a nap, but that doesn't count. But yeah, later. About that switch. Okay, so since the last update, I've been basically trying to fix my sleeping schedule. It's going sort of so-and-so right now, kind of working, kind of not. But I finished the rough cut. I worked on the sound. I did some minor tweaking and all that, and I finished it. And I worked yesterday to get the thumbnail ready, did a bunch of versions. I couldn't make up my mind on anything. It's very difficult working on thumbnails. It's probably my weakest point. Got everything ready to upload today, a little bit later than right now. But yeah, I just wanted to go through some of the things that I've been doing. The thumbnail, I was just very indecisive about it, and it's kind of one of those things, like I was reading a book and it was talking about the importance of log lines and titles for films, and thumbnails are kind of the log line. They're incredibly important, but also you should have an idea of what the thumbnail should be going into it, because I realized that while I was filming some things, I could have easily planned a thumbnail ahead of time. So I need to start working on that and understanding where I want things to go and what I want things to look like before I even start filming. Thumbnails should be in the pre-production phase, basically. The other thing that I was going to talk about real quick was the aspect ratio. I decided to use and do the math for and figure out exactly how to get a 2.35 to 1 ratio out of a 1920 by 1080 normal aspect ratio. And I wanted to talk about that for a second real quick. I'm using the black bars over the footage because when you view the video on YouTube and a default viewer, it doesn't force the 16 by 9. And so you'll watch a video and it'll just be this tiny little sliver. And that's just unappealing. And it does the same thing on mobile, where you'll have like 1/5 of your phone screen the video, and then the rest is like recommended videos. It's terrible. And so the reason why I'm using basically like just an image of black bars over the footage and rendering that out is because of that. But the last thing I was going to talk about was the VFX. It was very difficult, and I still don't even really remember how I did it. I've went through 5 or 6 times now trying to trace back my steps and figure out what the fuck I even did to get to where I ended up getting. It did not go well. I don't remember anything, but yeah. Oh, and sound also. So I re-recorded some of the sound, and then I also recorded sound effects for some things. I learned that I do not have the best environment for recording sound because there was a ton of hum in the background. And so I had to do work on that and figuring out how to remove the hum. And I ended up just using sound effects for the last scene because I had to remove the audio completely due to my fan being on, which I didn't expect to be that much of an issue. But I ended up just taking a like 15-second clip of background noise of room tone and just layering that throughout the whole final scene because I couldn't get the hum completely removed. And what it was doing was it would go from a very enjoyable ambience, and then the sound effect would come in and it would just go shh. Terrible. So that kind of sucked. I didn't like that too much. Oh, and I also ended up not replacing the phone call scene and ended up spending a lot of time tweaking the EQ and trying to get the best sound out of it that I could. Yeah, hey, this is Jacob. Yeah, hey, this is Jacob. And I think it's serviceable. It just sounds like there's something on in the background, which is normal. So it's not that annoying. But yeah, minor things that really need to be ironed out the next time that I go to film something. I need to get better with audio specifically. I was kind of having a hard time with locating. Like, one of the things you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use the EQ to locate where the sound is, what frequency it's on. And the issue I was having was I could not find that frequency no matter what I did. And so I gotta really figure that shit out the next time I go to do something. But that's something to work on. But yeah, it's pretty much all done. Almost, at least. I gotta upload and then I gotta work on this. And then just work on the next one, I guess. No one's even gonna see this. I wanted to do kind of a behind the scenes thing, but honestly, I don't know if I like this format because I would much rather make it a very quick and more impactful video. And so like every time I make something, maybe just take 3 or 5 things that I worked on and make a video detailing what it was that I did and what I learned. So I might make a video like that. I'm gonna finish everything, finish this video, and then maybe make a list of things that I learned, and then go back and put those there and do kind of like a director's commentary thing. Even though a director's commentary for this video would suck, seems how it's only 7 minutes long. Kind of need a lot more time to go into things. So it's kind of like a director's breakdown. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I really like that idea. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that, and I think that's it for the behind the scenes. Thanks for watching. Later.